Hello and welcome to Xenos training course lesson 5, Manual Meshing in FromCAD. FromCAD approach has a built-in automatic mesher, and in most of the time you don't even need to think about the mesh. But in some cases, if the geometry is very complex, the automatic mesher might not go through with it. In such cases, you need to know how to create the mesh manually to finish the simulation. In this lesson, we will learn on how to find and open the manual mesher, and once the mesh is done, how to send it back to Xenos in the FromCAD approach. Right now, we are in FromCAD Geometry window. Down here is the Mesh Options button, which brings you to the mesh settings. Here you can adjust the mesh density for the automatic mesh in case you want it to be a little bit finer or coarser. In the Advanced Settings, there is the possibility to create automatic mesh right away or to open the advanced editor. Automatic mesh button is disabled right now because first you need to fill in the physics for Xenos to be able to generate the automatic mesh. The advanced editor button opens our preprocessor where you can create your mesh manually. Once in the advanced editor, switch directly to the mesh module up here. Your important geometry with an already created partition and groups is in the object browser on the left, right below the geometry dropdown. The one you need to use is the partition final. Below it, you can find all of the group definitions created by you previously in the FromCAD geometry setup. From here, just create the mesh as you would normally do it in the advanced geometry editor approach. Once the mesh is done, select it and click Tools, Plugins and Mesh to Xenos. Before you export your mesh, you need to select the volume and phase groups that you will export along the mesh. Select only the ones you have already named and defined, like this. And then, once that is done, click Send Mesh to Xenos. As the mesh is finished loading, you can save and close the advanced editor. As you get back to Xenos geometry window, you can see that the mesh has been created and successfully sent to Xenos. While user-created mesh is in use, you will not be able to change domains or the domain names, as indicated by the message up here. If you want to change geometry setup, then you need to go back to the mesh options and remove the mesh, and only then you will be able to edit your setup. This is the end of the 5th lesson, where we learned on how to create a manual mesh when using FromCAD approach. Thanks for watching!